What's going on, black people? It's Jonga, and today I want to talk to you about women without fathers. When I told y'all that white supremacy is at the heart of our problems, I sincerely 100% meant that. Because in order for us to dive into this subject, we have to place the blame where it belongs. The decline and the destruction of the black family lies solely on those Europeans who chose to remove the black man from the household. Also on those black women who chose to do deals in order to get the black man out of the house for financial gain, for control, for her to be able to say, I run this, I'm independent, etc., etc. Those people, they conspired to delete the black man from the home, and that created a whole set of issues that today we are dealing with. When we look at women who don't have a father, let's get to the big one. They're simply more promiscuous. Women who don't have a father in the home and who don't have a father that is emotionally showing her love, he creates a young woman or a woman who is more promiscuous. She starts to have sex earlier than most other children or young people. She's 70% of teen pregnancies. She is also more likely to engage in risky sexual behavior. Behavior like orgies, having unprotected sex, lesbianism, etc., etc. These things are more prominent in women who have no father figure present in their upbringing, should I say. When you look at a lot of these PUAs, these pickup artists, they'll tell you to ask about the woman's father because they know that a woman who doesn't have a father who was on the scene is way more likely to drop them draws on night one. Not to say that there's not a woman out there who has a healthy two-parent home who ain't doing the same. When we talk about this, we're talking statistics, we're talking odds, we're talking, 80% out of 100. So we're saying that the odds are that if she has these things in her background, she will behave a certain way. And the supremacists, we taking it right back to them. The supremacists who did this understood that if they produced this particular thing as far as a fatherless home, that the woman would be ruined. She would become exactly what men don't want. No man wants to see himself, no man with self-respect wants to see himself tied to a promiscuous woman who's ready to have sex with everything. All men are socialized to say, I don't want to be with this type of woman. I don't want that in my zone. No man desires that. On top of the promiscuity, you have to add to the fact that she has difficulty forming long-lasting relationships and intimate relationships. We're talking about her friends. It's funny how you meet a girl and the first thing that comes out of her mouth is, I don't get along with X, Y, and Z. And most of the time they say females. And sometimes, they come with a complaint about men. But it shows that a lot of them have difficulties forming and keeping relationships. That's why when you get on Facebook, you'll see a girl who got a new dude every month. She's not even connected to the last guy that left. They are simply being sexual partners out here because they're not forming any long-lasting relationships. That doesn't bode well for the long term. And what you have when you add these factors up is that we have women who become unsuitable for long-term relationships. And when you have that, what do you get? You get one or two things. You either get women who are going to be sexual partners or single mothers. And if this particular type of woman becomes a single mother, she will replicate that behavior into the child. And that cycle will go on. That dysfunction will go on because she has not learned. She has not deprogrammed. Those are things that she holds on to because that's what she's been taught. She thinks that love is not having a man in the house, but having a man in between her legs. She feels that love is finance. Love is not friendship. Love is not having someone there who you are so attached to you can't see your life without them. When you take the male out of the household, you start to produce those types of women. And now we have a community full of them, and we got black men looking around going, I can't use this. Now, let's side note here about some of these, and I'm going to call them clowns, talking about divest and talking about, save yourself, black man. You, sir, you don't have a proper understanding of genetics, because that was one of the reasons why they did this in the first place. They sought to take black men out of the house to kill our seeds, as well as to stop us from producing and kill the black genetics altogether. So by you going and you choosing the Latina or the Asian or what, you're doing exactly what they want you to do, because by hook or crook, you're erasing your blackness, your genetics, your bloodline. But I'm gonna save you for another day. That's a roast I'll have on a whole different day. But I just needed to side note that. So here we are in the black community, where we have this woman who can't connect. And when you find that she can't connect, you start looking at other parts of her personality. You'll find that her self-esteem is low. You'll find that she's unhappy without a father. You'll find that her opinion of herself is extremely low when it comes to other matters, based on her father not being there. And then let's also clear something else up. Having a father there who doesn't love you or show you affection is the exact same as an absent father. Because without that love, without that care, without that fatherly energy, he is simply a totem pole. He is simply just there. He's a statue. He's living room furniture. If your father was there but didn't show you the love and the care that women need to see from men in order to deal with men. So when we talk about absent fathers, we also mean emotionally absent. If his emotions were absent, he abused you and left you all in the same boat as the women who didn't have a father at all. And that's something that really needs to be looked at and addressed. Now let's go down this list. Women without fathers in their life are more likely to be addicted to drugs. You know what's funny? What happened in the 70s when we got into this drug culture was that we got women who were addicted. We got men who were addicted. Isn't that funny that at the same time that the father came out of the household, the drugs moved in? So with that pain of not having a father there, she's going to need something to make her feel better, because reality sucks. Realizing that my father didn't love me sucks. So now I need something to cover and mask my pain. Mama can talk all that she loved me, baby, it's okay, you independent stuff she want. At the end of the day, I'm hurting. And mama can't fix it with them words. So let me look for something else to make me feel better about this missing absent father I got. Let me get this Molly. Let me pop this bean. Let me get this drink. Let me get toe up. Every weekend we at the club. We got to get high just to wake up. When you meet a woman and she cannot function, or when you meet a person and they cannot function without drugs in their system, you have an addict. That is the behavior of an addict. A person who cannot function without a particular substance in their system that doesn't sustain their life. That's a problem. Because now, let's add this up. You have someone who is promiscuous, someone who doesn't form long-term relationships, someone who is an addict, someone who has internal emotional problems. These are all things that keep people away from the happiness that they desire. Without a father in their life, these women don't feel happy or secure. And that's part of it, is that they are miserable in the community, and they are full of hatred, and a lot of them are angry. So, at this point, you have all these things going, and then you add into this the messages sent from television, radio, about men, about this negativity. All of these things create someone who is undesirable for a black man who is trying to be upright, who is trying to live good, who is trying to do right by his people, by his family, and by himself. Those things create discord in our community by not having a father in the home. And that's why, as a black man, it is your utmost responsibility to be there for any child that you produce, because that is a different type of pain to live with. And as a father, it is your job to be there to prevent that. You save the community's life when you produce a healthy black daughter. You literally make some man's day, because he's not going to go through the issues that most of us black men are having, because he's going to realize that there was a responsible black man on the other end who held the line. You did right by your daughter by being there. You did right by your daughter by telling her that she's beautiful. You discouraged her from being promiscuous. You discouraged her from overusing drugs, etc., etc. You let her experience life, but at the same time, you gave her the guidance that only a father can give. And now she is a healthy black woman, ready to have children and healthy relationships with others, and that cycle can continue. That's what we want. That is your duty as a black man, is to be there to start something new. Start the new cycle. Let's begin to break these old chains. It is difficult. It is highly difficult to teach someone that's 30 and 40 already these new tricks. I'm not going to say that it's impossible, but it is highly difficult, because at a certain stage, these behaviors are ingrained and some people don't want to change. But black man, today you can begin to do something new. I want you to be there for your daughter. Be there for your son. Be there for your children. That way we can start a healthy pattern that 10, 20, 15 years down the road we can benefit from. No more toxic. This is Jonga Diop, and I want you to raise healthy black seeds. Signing out. Peace.